out there, a hearty and healthy Irish hello. You're listening to the Celtic Coach Radio Show, an Irish talk show just for men and all things manly. And where else would you be listening to it? On, of course, KOWS 92.5 FM. Yes, it's on the dial. You just got to look towards that dial. Look towards the dial. And stay out of the light. Or maybe it's go into the light. I'm not sure. Come on. I'm Irish. I don't know everything, even though my mind tells me I do. KOWS 92.5, Occidental, California. You're listening to the Celtic Coach Radio Show, an Irish talk show just for men and all things manly. And, of course, we bring you the best. And I do mean the best of Irish music, young and old, contemporary and conditional, and everything in between. The greatest, the latest, the best. And as always, the topic of each show is always connected to something that hopefully is going to impress you, impress upon your life, something good to do with your life. Now, it's not always about doing something good with your life, but it's more about understanding that your life is already good. And it's your thinking, yes, I know, that thinking thing that actually makes it bad. But we're going to get all into that a little bit later. So, our topic today is, as always, of course, we bring you the best in self-development tools and techniques and different things around the planet. And today is no different, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to be talking about, on the Celtic Coach Radio Show, creating money spiritually. Yes, creating money spiritually. Now, the whole month is dedicated, this whole month of June is dedicated to creating money, creating finances. You know, financial abundance. But there's two sides to it. And I think the spiritual people get caught up in just the spiritual side of the mantras and the visualizations and the dream boards and thinking I have money, 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 money is coming to me. It flows in avalanches of abundance and so on and so on and so on. The other people who are not spiritual, they think of money as gotta do, gotta do, gotta do, gotta do. And there's nothing outside of them that creates this abundance, that it's all them or nothing. If I don't create abundance, then it ain't going to happen for me. So we're talking about two different sides of the same coin, the spiritual side of abundance and also the practical side. Now, there's a lot of stuff out there that will tell you, there's a lot of stuff that we've just been conditioned, and I don't mean that negative or positive. It's just the truth. We've been conditioned to think that credit card debt is good. We've been conditioned to think that instead of buying a new car, waiting, saving a few bucks, we just simply go out and get it on credit. Now, we're going to talk about that because there's a whole practical side to money, a physical side to money. Common sense is the best word that I can use, because my mother said it best. Being broke, Dermot, and we were broke growing up, it's not something to be ashamed of, but it's definitely an inconvenience. You know what I mean? So why is it, I wonder, that most spiritual people are broke? And I think it's because they only want to be one with everything. But rich people, they have two of everything. 2 cars, 2 boats, 2 houses, at least 2 bank accounts. So we're going to be talking about the spiritual side of money. Now, I've heard it said, I have friends, and they say, well, Dermot, money can't buy you happiness. Maybe not. I don't know. But it makes paying the bills a whole lot easier. And I know a lot of broke spiritual people that are deeply spiritual, and they're broke. And I know a lot of rich people that have a lot of money, but they're broke. They're broke spiritually. Because I have in my own life, I know, and I've run both gamuts of the side of those coins. There's no question about it. You know, being broke and spiritual, it's like owning a Porsche, but you got no money for gas. Spiritually rich, physically broke. The rich, spiritually broke, physically rich. My mother, oh, God bless my dear mother, but she used to say to me, Derby, oh, would you save a penny for a rainy day? And I thought to myself, if I want to be rich, I got to move back to Ireland, because it's raining every day there. Has been for a long, long time. But there might be something against that, Mom, because there's not a lot of rich people there. I'll tell you what, you know the only people that have money? The only people that have money, and they have it all around them, and they still cry being broke, are bankers. Bankers are the only people. And you might think to yourself, now, why is it, Dermot, that why is it that the banks have all the money? That's a simple answer. Because you gave it to them. Yeah. You went out and you got yourself one of those, what do you call it? One of those financial planners. Oh, yes, the financial plan. You know what a financial planner is this? Financial planner is someone who will take your money, charge you for taking your money, and then come up with magical and unique ways for you to never see your money again. That's a financial planner. Now, I have friends that say, "Oh, Dermot, we need to take the money from the rich and give it to the poor." And you know what I say? How about we learn about wealth from the rich and give that to the poor? Because here's the thing that most people don't understand or don't realize. You can take 95% or 100% of the world's wealth, and you can give it to the poor. And within 5 years, now this has been proven, this is true. Now, it hasn't been proven in terms of this, but they've done a smaller study. What they found was that within 5 years, the wealthy will have it again. Because first of all, they have the mindset for wealth, and second of all, they have the practical know-how. And so we're going to be talking in the show about those both aspects, the spiritual side, but also just, hey, common sense, practical stuff around money. I'm also going to be destroying a lot of myths. Myths. It's a good thing I'm sober. Myths around money, telling you the truth about money in hopefully in as many different variety of ways as I can. Now, my friends all say to me, Dermot, and we're talking about money, the best things in life are free. And I say to them, yeah, the best things in life are free, there's no question. But for everything else, use money. You know, money can be good, and it can be bad, right? Two sides of the same coin. It's good if you have it, and it's pretty bad if you don't. Yeah. Now, put your hand up if you've ever, if you know that your money talks. You know the way people say, "Oh, money talks." Yeah, mine sure does. It says hello, and it says goodbye. Pretty much in that order. Yeah. I think one of the things that we have a challenge with in our society is that we and they don't have this in Ireland. I mean, maybe they do. In America, it's called keeping up with the Joneses. In Ireland, maybe it's called keeping up with the O'Shaughnessy's. I don't know, but most of us here in America, we want to be like the Joneses. Take my advice. Don't be like the Joneses. The Joneses are broke. Broke. The Joneses are like they're like a new refrigerator at Sears. You go up, you look at the new refrigerator, it looks incredible from the outside. But then you open up the refrigerator and it's empty. There's nothing in it. So don't be like the Joneses. You know, I often think of money in this way. I think it's like owning a cat. Yes, I think it's like owning a cat. Sometimes it's here, and sometimes it's gone. And where it's gone, nobody knows. I got into an argument the other night with a friend of mine, and we were talking about money. We're talking about rich people and poor people. And I said to him, what's the difference between rich people and poor people? And you know what he said to me? Now he was in favor. He was rich, by the way, and a multimillionaire. And I'd like to be. and I said, well, what's the difference between rich people and poor people, John? And you know what he said? He said, Dermot, rich people, they know how to say no. No, I don't need that new car with all the bells and whistles. And I don't need to refinance my home, or I don't need another mortgage payment, or I don't need those new clothes to make me feel good. No. I don't need more debt, Dermot. No. I don't need to eat out 5 days a week. No. I can eat at home. No. I don't need to buy my daughter the latest iPod and computer. A good secondhand one will do. No. Broke people have a hard time saying no. They say yes. Hey, that car looks great. $200 a month? That's all? I'll take that. Now we're going to get into this whole idea of money, because it is it's a big one for most people. And the key with all of it is, I'll give you the key now so you don't have to listen to the show if you don't want to. The key is mindset. Now, what's even deeper than that is that you've already built into you, there is already built into you a mindset. You don't have to work for it. You don't have to strive for it. You don't have to, I got to think positive thoughts all day long. I'm abundant, I'm abundant, I'm abundant. I did that for years. Years, ladies and gentlemen. And it does have some impact. There's no question about it. It has a positive impact. It's better than saying, hey, I'm abundant and not believing it, than saying I'm broke and believing it. You know what I mean? Hands up anyone who's done that. I'm abundant, I'm abundant. But inside there's a little voice that says, no, you're not. No, you're broke. You've been broke for 20 years. You keep telling people that you're not broke, but you're broke. Have you looked at your home recently? You're broke. You're one step away from living in your car. I'm abundant, I'm abundant, I'm abundant. I've done that, by the way. And I've been one step away from... did I ever live? No, I never lived in my car. I lived in my truck a few times. But so I'm learning. I'm going to share what I'm learning about money, everyone. Now, am I living all this stuff, correctly and perfectly? No, not about that. It's not about that. It's just about pointing yourself in a direction that you want to go, learning some practical tips about money, learning the truth about money. Physically and spiritually, both are necessary. And so we're going to cover in the next 4 weeks, the 4 shows. We're going to cover today, we're going to cover the spiritual side of money this week and next week. And then the last 2 weeks of June, I'm going to share some of the greatest myth busters. I'm going to bust a lot of myths around wealth. And I'm going to share some really valuable, very important, very simple. May not be easy. We all want it easy. Life is not easy. It's simple, but it can be very difficult at times. But I'm gonna share a lot of really just beautiful tips around money and how you can start to move in the direction that you want to go, which is, of course, more money. Welcome to the Celtic Coach Radio Show, an Irish talk show just for men and all things manly. You're listening to KOWS 92.5 FM on the dial. And if you're listening, I know there's a lot of men and a couple of ladies listening out on this manly show. Yes, I know there's quite a few women in Europe that listen into the show. By the way, it's like, what time is it? It's 1. It's like 10:30 at night. But I appreciate all the ladies over there in Germany, Ireland, and France listening in. So nice to have you, ladies. Nice to have you. Learning all the secrets about men. You're listening at KOWS.FM, F for Frank and M for Matilda. Bring in your dead. Bring in the cows. Bring in your money. All right, that reminds me of that. The Monty Python movie where they're, bring out your dead! Bring out your dead! What was I saying? Oh, yes, I was thanking all the ladies in Europe for listening in. Thank you, ladies. KOWS.FM, F for Frank, M for Matilda. If you want to listen live, we're here every Friday on KOWS.FM, 1 to 3. So feel free to listen in. This month is all about money. Well, the best things in life are free, but you can give them to the birds and bees. I want money. That's what I want. I'll tell you the best way that I have found. And here's a money tip. Write this one down. The best way I have found to keep your money. You just forget who you borrowed it from. I've found that to be the easiest possible way if you want to keep your money. My father actually used to say, money doesn't grow on trees, Dermot. And I'm thinking to myself as I got older, yeah, because who's got the time to wait for that to grow? Of course it doesn't grow on trees, Dad. I mean, come on now. I have a friend, Bill. He's the fittest guy on the planet. He's been running after and running out of money for years. We're going to talk about that today. How do we get back into the money game? How do we win the money game? Now, as I've said, there's a practical side and a spiritual side, and this has come to me in insights and different material and resources and trainings and workshops and just the amount of stuff that I've done over the years. I've found this to be true. There's no question about it in terms of the information that we're going to share with you today. Now, first thing I want to talk about is, you've heard all the common sayings, right? There's never enough. Money doesn't grow on trees. You got to work hard for money. Money is scarce in the world. There's not enough money to go around. Money is the root of all evil. Being broke is the root of all evil, because then you got to go out and you got to steal things. You don't see rich people going out and stealing stuff. I mean, maybe you do. I don't know. But they certainly don't do it as much as broke people do, So, let's talk about spiritual money. How do we create money spiritually? And when I talk about abundance, I'm talking about financial increase. How do we increase our finances? Now, I shared a few common statements that you usually hear. So I want you to put your feet on the floor for a moment. Now, keep them down there. Don't put them back up. Hold them down there. If you have to, get somebody to hold your feet down there. Take your shoes and socks off if you want. Here, by the way, little earthing. The good Scottish. Tip. If you're not feeling good, you're feeling like crap, you're feeling ungrounded, you're feeling stressed out, you're not feeling yourself, whatever that might be, and feel free to feel yourself if you want. I mean, just not during the show. Do it afterwards. But take your shoes and socks off and put them on the ground. Now, I don't mean like a wooden floor, but put them outside either on concrete, which is grounded to the planet through iron, or put them on the grass, on the ground outside. And take your shoes and you got to take your shoes and socks off and just put your feet on there for about a minute. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths in. It's a great exercise. By the way, science has proven that this grounding or earthing has healed people from all sorts of diseases. The word disease. There's a disease. We're naturally well, by the way, everyone. You don't look at a child and go, why is that child always sick? Now, the child might be always pooing and peeing, but they're rarely ever sick. They have a natural wellness built in. We, as humans, have a natural wellness built into our makeup, built into our structure, into our DNA, into our nervous system, into our brain. We have an abundance system that is already there. Now, a lot of what I'm going to share today is you're going to think, oh, that's nice, Dermot. Yeah, a couple of jokes were funny, and you did a great job in the show. I like the music, blah, blah, blah. But the real nuggets of the show may come during the show, but they'll certainly come after the show, which means you will start to get some insights around this thing we call money. We have so many hang-ups about money. We have so many things that we're caught up in. And it's all thinking, by the way. You know, I think that I don't have enough. I think that I'm broke. I think that the world owes me something. I think there's a lot of scarcity in the world. I think the rich people should give the money back to the poor people. I think money really is the root of all evil. I think that there's not enough money in the world, and there's certainly not enough for me because those other people have it. Do you have any thoughts like that going on? Now, I'm being a little bit rough and ready today, and I don't mean to be. I mean, I'm being very respectful because I've been at that place where I've been broke, you know, where you're getting the pennies and the quarters to pay for a gallon of gas. I have been there, and more than once, let me tell you. And some of the principles, some of the truths, ideas, suggestions, opinions, and facts about money that I'm going to share with you in the show have worked for me. Now, does that mean they're going to work for you? No, it doesn't. I'm not silly enough to know that what works for me is not going to work for you. However, I would invite you, ladies and gentlemen, to take everything that's been shared in the show today and ponder it. And if you want, go outside and put your feet in the grass and just ask whoever the big guy is, the big cheese, the big head honcho, the spirit in the sky, the big G, whoever that might be. Hey, show me some new ideas. Show me some new insights. Give me some new insights into this thing that I call money. Now, I have done this, and I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that some crazy stuff happens. And by that, I mean you'll get some beautiful insights. It may come standing outside. You may be at a gas station. I've gotten insights all over the place in terms of money. And I've been through the rigmarole of having money and not having money, not having money. You know what I mean? I'm like a painter, a painter's brush, up and down, up and down, up and down. My entire life has been that way. Now, I can safely say today it's not that way. That I have, I found out some little secrets. Actually, I'm not even going to say that. Everyone says that, don't they? I've got the secret. There isn't any secret. Truth is not a secret. Truth is just a fact. And when you see the truth for yourself, you'll get an insight. Or you'll get an insight and you'll see the truth about something. This month, it's all about money. How do I see the truth about money? How do I see the truth about what money really means to me? So there's some practices, there are some techniques, but a lot of this is just, it's going to be based on insight. You're going to have an insight and you're going to change the way you think, feel, and talk about money. There's nothing I can tell you that's going to do that. That's bigger. That's not me. That's something that's running the show. There's two things that I'm sure of, and it's not death and taxes, although those things do exist. and I am going to do both of those. I'm doing one already. That's not the dying. I'm sure of this, that there is something bigger than me, than Dermot running the show. That I'm absolutely sure of. And you may be thinking, well, what's the second thing, Dermot? I don't know. I've totally forgotten the second thing. It'll come back to me, though. It will come back to me. Oh, yeah. I'm not the it. There's something running the show, and I'm not it. Now, I don't know what it is. You know, people call it all sorts of things. But we'll just talk about it as the big bank account, right? In terms of spiritual, we're going to talk about it in terms of the big bank account. Now, write this statement down. This is a really good one. But before I tell you this, I want to share a little story. Last night, kind of weird. It's kind of crazy. Last night, I went to bed, as I do most every night, you know. I went to bed with my little lady. In fact, she went to bed first, and then I went, so I didn't go with her. But you get the idea. And I hopped into bed, and during the night, I heard this massive crash in the living room. So, I mean, I woke up, because I had to, and I changed my underwear, because I had to, And then I went back to sleep. No, I got up because I had to. And I got up and I walked into the living room. Now, it was dark. I didn't put on any lights because I didn't know what the hell was going on. And I walked into the living room. I should say I walked out to the landing to overlook the living room because our bedroom is upstairs. And I looked down and there was a frickin' guy in my living room going through my stuff. And I screamed at him. I was pretty scared, I have to say. I said, "Hey, what the hell are you doing?" And he said, "I'm looking for money." And then quite naturally I said, well, hold on a minute. Let me come down and help you look. If we find any, let's split it. And he was okay with that. He was pretty good with that. You see, when I think about money, I don't have a problem saving money. That's not the problem. People say, my mother used to say, "Dermot, save the pennies for a rainy day." And again, if I had to pay out a penny for every rainy day in Ireland, I'd be broke. If I could save a penny for every day in Ireland, I'd be rich. You know what I mean? But I have no problem saving. It's getting money. That's problematic. That's the challenge. Now, let's go into this a little bit more in terms of spiritual money. How do we create money spiritually? Okay. So let's get serious now about the spiritual stuff. By the way, that's the worst thing you can do for money, for creating money spiritually, is get serious about it. Because you're serious about every part of your life, aren't you? You really are. So don't get serious about money. At least spiritually don't. Practically, yes. We're going to talk about that in 2 weeks. But spiritually, don't get serious about money. Get the opposite. You know, the Bible, Jesus says, "Be ye as little children." So be ye as little children about money. What do kids do when you give them money? They go, "Oh, it's great, whoa, money!" It's like Play-Doh. It's like play money to them. And they can buy stuff, and they pretend to buy stuff with their Monopoly money. And they I want to buy an airplane with this $2 Monopoly money. They're very playful about money. So I think Jesus was talking about, not to get religious, I mean, we're a spiritual show here. I don't know what we are, but we're a show. I think he was saying, you know, don't get so hung up. Don't get so serious about money. If it's true, and we're going to talk about this, and I pray, I hope that you have an insight into this. I'm sure you will, actually. I trust that you will have an insight into this. That we are already abundant, financially abundant. Now, I can hear all of you saying, "Where's the money, Dermot? If we're all so financially abundant, where's the money?" Well, the money's there. But the problem with that is that you're thinking about the money. You're thinking about your money is the problem. That's why your money's not showing up. Your money's there. It's like you got this bank account and it's just got a buttload of money in it, right? But you never go to the bank. And someone told you, "Hey, you know, did you know that you got a lot of money in the bank over there?" "I don't know that. I've never been over there. How do I know?" "I don't think I do. You tell me I do, but I've never been to the bank. I don't see the money." Yeah. Well, you got to go to the bank and ask to see your banking, you know, the money inside the vault before you can do that. Now, just pretend there's no computers and there's no online banking for that analogy to work. Okay. Spiritually speaking, people see their money. Think about it this way. See your money as it is, but not worse than it is. And then see it as you want it to be. Now, what does that mean? Let's take that for a moment. People stress out about money. They thinking about money. Right? Now, think is not the problem. You're going to think. Everyone thinks. We think 10,000, 100,000 thoughts a day. I don't know, but somebody counted them at one point. It's a lot. And most of those thoughts are just like drive-through through McDonald's, you know? The thought comes up, you look at it, you wave it on, and the next one comes up. And at some point, you engage with one of the orders, and you take the order of the thought, right? But most of us, in our thinking, in our spiritual thinking, just practically thinking, we think, I don't see the money, so therefore it's not there. Right? Seeing is believing, Dermot. Seeing is believing. And right there, ladies and gentlemen, for all you ladies in Europe, that's the challenge. That's the problem. Because in a world, in a spiritual world, and we live in a spiritual world, we also live in a physical world. We want to see the money before we can believe that it's there. But if we use the bank analogy, the money's there. But you've got to see your way there. If we use the analogy of the bank account and the big vault of money, and the guy says, well, I don't know how to get to the bank. Therefore, the money's not there. I don't know how to ask someone to get directions to go to the bank to see if the money's actually there. So I don't believe that the bank account is there. Even though it's there. Lots of money waiting. It's our thinking about our thinking. So let me give you another analogy for that. And pray, please God, send me another analogy because my mind is blank right now. The power of the unconscious mind. Yes, I say. All right, let's do a little Sean Connery just for fun. You ever seen the Highlander movie? I'm doing this now just to because nothing's in my brain. So let's do something else. You ever see the Highlander movie? It's a great movie about immortality, right? And it's about, the disciple and the guru shows up. Sean Connery's the guru. And the wife of Connor MacLeod says to him, How can this all be? She says to him, Heather. And he says, well, I don't know. Why does the sun come up? Are the stars just pinholes in the curtain of night? I don't know, Heather. But I do know that something is running the show. And it's not me! Okay, that last part was added. I just want to throw it in there. That last part was added for effect. Kind of like this. Bring out your dead! I'm going to get a lot of mileage out of this bell. I know I am. All right. Where were we? I have no idea where we were. Where were we? Oh, yes. Okay. So seeing is believing. Now, what I'd like you to ponder, what I'd like to offer up is that believing is seeing. Again, I'm quoting the Bible, and I've never even read the Bible, but I heard this quote somewhere. Oh, God. Happy are those who do not see but yet believe. I think Jesus was talking about money. Now, he's probably talking about a lot of different things. But he's like, happy are those that don't see the money, honey, but yet believe that the money is there. For they shall inherit the big bank account that's already there. Now, let's take this out into the world. Just look around you for a moment. Take a moment and look around you. If you're in your home, then go outside and look around. Do you think the trees have any problem with... Come on, send me something, send me something. Do you think the trees have any problem growing? Do you think the trees have any problem with abundance? Do you think the trees think, well, they do feel, by the way, it's been scientifically proven, Bose's theory. Rabindranath Tagore, I think, was the one. No, Chandra Bose. He hook them up to a little thing, and they feel. Trees feel. But that's a side note. Do you think that trees have a problem with being a tree? Do you think the tree stresses about, hey, where am I going to get some water so I can grow, so I can expand, so I can be bigger, so I can be more? Why is it everything in nature is green? Abundance, by the way. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. When you look out into a forest, do you see any lack? Do you see anything missing? Do you see any trees wondering why they're not enough? Or do you ever see a tree stress about not being enough, having enough, doing enough, getting enough? Look at all the animals on the planet. None of them stress about food or water or where they're receiving their abundance from. Abundance, i.e. water and food. Because they don't need the mortgage and the car and the house, which is nothing wrong with, by the way. I like all of those things. When you look out into the ocean, do you see anything missing? Now, you're probably saying, Dermot, yeah, fish. There's no fish in the ocean. But I mean, before we took all the fish out of the ocean, right? Because that was a man thing, not a God thing, a man thing. We took all the fish out. And by the way, there's plenty of fish, and there always will be in the ocean. So please don't worry about the fish. They're fine. When you look out into the ocean, is there anything missing? No. There's an abundance of water. There's an abundance of fish. There's an abundance of plankton for the fish to eat. There's a bunch of small fish for the bigger fish to eat. And there's abundance of big fish for the even bigger fish or sailors to eat. Look around in your own world right now in your home. And if you're living in your car, look around your car. Truly in this moment, unless you're dying, is there a part of your life that somehow you've always gotten what you needed? I've been broke many times, but it never lasted. I'd be broke, I get my money, I get broke, get the money, broke, get the money. It never lasted though. Jim Rohn, great motivational speaker. Jim Rohn, he said that money is usually attracted, not pursued. And what I think he was talking about was that in our thinking, then we're constantly thinking about not having any money. We're going to create that in our lives. Now, you've all heard it said, the law of attraction, what you think about, you create. What you focus on expands. That which is likened attracts to itself. Or that which is the same attracts it to itself. You ever notice that broke people seem to have broke friends? You ever notice that rich people seem to have rich friends? Why is that, do you think? It's because of that principle, because of that truth, that like attracts like. If you've got thoughts in your head that say that you're not worthy of having money, you are going to create that in your life. I don't care who you are. And I'm speaking from full experience here, everyone. Full experience. No question about it. You know what I find fascinating? What I find fascinating about money is that money could solve all the world's problems. And yet at the same time, it causes all the world's problems. Isn't that weird? I mean, I don't get it. To me, like money for me, it comes like a snail. Here I come. It's going to take a while. Don't worry, I'm going to be there in just about 5 years. I'm going to be there. And then the money comes and there's a moment of, got money, life is good. Without the money, life is crap. That's what your thoughts say. But with the money, life is good. And then It goes like a rabbit. Comes like a snail, goes like a rabbit. It's gone. And you're thinking, where the hell did my money go? I had it for like a minute, and now it's gone. I was happy for a minute, now I'm not. Oh, where's my money? Where's my money? Oh, I'm always broke. I'm always broke. I'm always broke. I'm always broke. Why do bad things happen to me? Oh, la, la, la. Can you relate, ladies and gentlemen? Can you relate? Of course you can. We can all relate. Look, if you're sitting at home and you're lonely and you want somebody to call you because you're broke, just miss a car payment. And you'll have lots of people calling you. Being broke is no fun, I know. Oh, for God's sake. A few years ago, I was so broke, I went to one of those, what do you call them? The wishing wells. And I tossed a penny into the wishing well, and it tossed it back. And I thought, okay, something is majorly wrong here. I might need to look at this whole money thing. All right, so... Let's do a little station ID, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about money. All right, so you listen to the KOWS 92.5 FM, Occidental, California. Yay! And you listen to the Celtic Coach Radio Show, an Irish talk show just for men and all things manly. All right, I think we'll, you know what we'll do? I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll play a little song. This is Maria Butterly. Now, Maria is my sister, so I can play these songs and then play it on YouTube with absolutely no problem whatsoever. But we'll play a little song just to kind of take a break. And then when you come back, I'm going to share with you a powerful exercise that will soften your statements, your beliefs, your thinking around money, so that money can start to come to you. Money's not the problem. It's our thinking about money that's the problem. All right, you listen to the Celtic Coast Radio Show, an Irish talk show just for men and all things manly on KOWS.FM. F for Frank, M for Matilda, every Friday from 1 to 3. All right, we'll play a song and we will be right back. Enjoy this one. This one is called Love My Waves. Pretty good song.
Johnny came home from too long away. He called to see if I was okay. He was sorry for the way he left on that day. He said I'd fallen from the wings of a dove in the sky. My heart fell out of love and into a lie. Everything in my life had somehow passed me by. So can you hold me tonight till I find my way? Can you love me tonight? 'Cause baby I wanna stay. So many times we've drifted along, flying high on the wings that was keeping us strong. But somewhere up in midair we were losing our way. We gotta talk it out when something ain't right. Say what you want now, don't be polite. You said my love never changed for you, and that's no lie. So can you hold me tonight till I find my way? Can you love me tonight? 'Cause baby I wanna stay. Tell me the answers, all the reasons why. Through hard times, what holds us tight? Do you still feel the same? Remember our first night? He said, this is the way I want us to be, spending all our days together, you and me. Love will grow deeper along our way. So can you hold me tonight till I find my way? Can you love me tonight? 'Cause baby I wanna stay. Can you hold
fella song, all the way from 29 St. Benensvillos in Laytown, County Meath, the ever-talented and lovely Maria Butterly there with Love My Ways. Alrighty, let's keep it going. If you just joined us, welcome. You listen to the Celtic Coach Radio Show, an Irish talk show just for men and all things manly on KOWS.FM. Every Friday, and I do them in alive, because you have to be alive to be live and live to be alive. 1 to 3 every Friday on KOWS.FM. All right. We're talking about creating money spiritually. Now, this is not a whoop-de-doo, oh, just think happy thoughts and money will come to you. That's not what this show is about at all. We're talking about the spiritual side of money, and then 3 weeks from now, we're going to talk about the practical side, the actual practical side of money and making money and not getting caught up in all the advertisement and marketing and nonsense and rubbish that you've been told since day one about money. We're going to dispel all those, blow them up, blow them the kingdom, something. All right, but before all of that, it's the time of the week, isn't it? It's the time for the top 11 list. Seamus, are you here, Seamus? Yeah, I'm over here, Dermot. How's it going? It's going well, Seamus. It's going well. Are you going to do the top 11 list today, or what's going on? Yeah, but I'm drinking me green smoothie. You're drinking your what? I'm drinking me green smoothie. Yeah, the Mrs. Leprechaun, she made this green smoothie for me. It's very healthy for you. Oh, okay. No Irish stew today for you, Seamus, huh? No, none of that stuff now. I'm on what's called a health kick. Yeah. Every time I drink something, I kick myself. It's very nice. I like it. Some people are on the seafood diet. Where they see food and they eat it. I'm on the health kick diet, where every time I eat something healthy, I kick myself. All right, well, Seamus, could you kick yourself over here so you can do the top 11 list? What are you doing today? Well, I do there the top 11 things. Let me come over here. Hang on a second. Come on then, Seamus. Come on. Oh, come on. For God's sake, Seamus. Every Friday we do this, Seamus. Could you just be ready one Friday just to do the show? Every Friday we've got to go through this. That's all right, Dave. Don't be worrying now. Don't be worrying. All right. Hello. Hang on a second now. Seamus, try not to break something there, will you? Just try not to break anything. Oh, yeah. All right. No worries. All right. Hello, everyone. Seamus O'Brien here. With the top 11 list, as always, of course, on the Celtic Coach Radio Show, an Irish talk show just for men. And apparently Dermot says it's for all things manly, but I've been here for many, many years and I haven't heard that much manly stuff. Heard a lot of girly stuff. Get on with it, Seamus. I'm getting on with it. All right. The top 11 things you absolutely do not need to know about money. All right. Number 11. If you think nobody cares about you, try missing a car payment. They'll definitely call you on that one. Number 11. The best things in life are free, plus shipping and handling. Number 9. Money can't buy you happiness. That's true, it can't. But I'd rather be in a mansion than on the street depressed. And it makes misery a whole lot easier to live with. Indeed it does. Indeed. Before I found the, let me tell you a quick story here. Before I found the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, I was broke. Broke all the time. Broke. I was the guy who was stealing money from the wishing well. That's who I was. Now don't tell anyone. But I gave it all back. It was like 5,000 pennies. It took me a long time, actually, to get all those pennies back out of the bank and put them in there. But I did. But I was the guy who did that. But then I found my pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And I got to tell you, there's a pot of gold at every rainbow. So the next time you see a rainbow, Dermot's talking about spiritual this and spiritual that. Well, just get over to the rainbow. Seamus, will you get on with it and stop talking? Oh, yeah, well, I have to tell them a little story every now and then, don't I? Huh? Mr. Big Shoes with the Celtic coach and this and that. Huh. Right, you know, I don't get paid enough for all the rubbish that I get on this show, you know what I mean? James, get on with it, will ya? Oh, I'm getting on with it. All right, I'm only messing with you. All right, anyway, where were we? Okay, number 8. Since my wife left me, there's been an emptiness, mainly in the kitchen around dinner time. I really like that one. I got a kick out of that one. All right, number 7. What's 6 inches long, 2 inches wide, and drives every woman wild? Yeah, you've guessed it. Money. Number 6. When you're young, there's no such thing as time or money. When you're in your 40s, time is money. And when you're in your 80s, time is no longer money. Number 5. I went to the bank last week. I said, I need to open up another bank account. Why? Asked the clerk. I said, because the other ones all ran out of money. Number 4. Why didn't your man report his stolen credit card? Well, because the thief was spending less than his wife, so he let him have it. All right, number 3. Oh, I like this. This is good advice now. Everything's expensive when you're poor. Everything is expensive when you're rich. Need I say more? Think about that one now. Think about that one. It's a tough one. All right. Number 2 thing you absolutely don't need to know about money. Why is it I spend more money on a haircut for the dog than I do on myself? What is with that? And you know what? I should have gotten a cat, because they don't require any shaving. Apparently, only bleeding dogs require shavings. And dogs are the ones that get sick. Cat never gets sick. And even if they did, you wouldn't know it, because they kind of just sit comatose in the corner. All right. The number 1 from the top 11 things you absolutely don't need to know about money. Here's the top number 1 thing. God bless those lovely people who say love is the most important thing in the world. The poor know it's money. All right, I'm Seamus O'Brien with the top 11 things you absolutely don't need to know about money. Good luck. Cheers. I'll talk to you later. All right, back to the Celtic coach. Thanks very much, Seamus. Very nice. Very nice. Well done, Seamus. Always a pleasure having you on the show. Did you want to ring that bell? Isn't that a great bell? No, it's a great bell, Dermot. I like that bell. Yeah. Leave it there, though. Don't take the bell, Seamus. Leave the bell, Seamus. Yeah, please. If you don't mind. Yeah. I see Seamus drinking a smoothie here. All right, it's always nice. It's wonderful that we have a leprechaun that comes on the show and does the top 11 list. I just think that's incredible. I really do. And I don't know other shows that have a leprechaun. So appreciate you, Seamus. I mean, you're a tough character, but we appreciate you. Thanks very much, Dermot. Sometimes I appreciate you too. Sometimes. Thank you, Seamus. Well, sometimes I'll take that on. All right. We're talking about creating money spiritually. All right, so here's something that I want you to do. Try it out and see what happens. So write down, what's the common thing that you usually say about money? In my home, it was, money doesn't grow on trees, and who the hell do you think we are? That we're made of money? I used to hear that growing up. So here's a little exercise for you to do that'll create some insight and may loosen the grip that you have, the mental grip that you have on money. I never have enough. The why is there not enough? Why is there not enough? I never seem to have enough money. Everyone has money, but I don't have money. You get the idea. Write down the negative statement that you say most commonly about money. There's not enough, whatever it is. Write down a piece of paper. And it can be as simple as just, I don't have any money, or I don't have enough money. What is it that you're saying and thinking about money. Another way of saying that is, what's your story? What's your thinking story around money? Okay, so do this. Ask yourself, was there a time in the past when I have had money? Now, of course, we've all had times in the past where we've had money. Right? Now, you may not have any money today, or some money, or a little bit of money. Everyone has a little bit of money somewhere, a penny or whatever. So you have the statement in front of you that says, I don't have enough money, or whatever the statement is. And now put your feet flat on the floor, look up and out. Anytime you're trying to figure a problem out, use your neocortex, not your reptilian brain, which is when you look down, you connect to your reptilian, which is, oh, forget it, everything's messed up brain. Look up and out, and that'll connect with your neocortex, your frontal part of your brain. That's the solution-focused part of you. That's the ideas part of your brain. So anytime you're stressed or you're trying to think about a solution, look up and out. Put your feet flat on the floor, straighten your shoulders up a bit, and look up and out, as opposed to down and in. Right? You ever see people that are stressed? They're down and in. They're looking down. Look up and out. And ask yourself, was there ever a time in the past? And of course there is. You'll say, no, there's never been a time, Dermot, I've been broke my whole life. That's crap. Rubbish. That's blarney at its best. You've had time. When was the time? You don't have to write it down. You just think about it. Or you can write it down if you like. I was 25, I had money. When I was 15, I had money. When I was 30, somebody gave me 10 grand. Or somebody gave me $100. You've had points of time where you've had money. Now, second question for you. Just ponder these. You don't have to obsess about them or get possessed by them. Just ponder them. When was a time that I enjoyed buying something with money? When was a time that I enjoyed buying something with money? Maybe it was today. Maybe you went and you bought I don't know. You bought a bar of chocolate or an ice cream cone. Maybe you paid a bill today. Maybe you lent somebody $10 that you had. When was one time that you enjoyed buying something? Maybe you bought yourself a pair of socks or a pair of shoes, or maybe you bought yourself a car. I don't know. Okay, third question. Do I know people? Who do I know? Better question. Who do I know with money? Who do I know with money who have bought me something? Has anyone ever bought you a cup of coffee? Has anyone ever bought you a present at Christmas? Or at Easter or Thanksgiving? Maybe they invited you over for dinner. They paid for dinner. Has anyone ever brought you out to dinner? Brought you to the movies, pizza in a movie? What value, here's another question, what value do I give money? Do I think, money could maybe be used for good? Could money be used for good? What value do I give money? Do I think that if I have money that I'll be happy, and if I don't have it, I won't be? And if I have a certain amount of money, then I'll be a certain amount of happy? And if I have less money, I'll be less happy? What value do you ascribe or give to money? Now, grab $1. Even if you don't have $1, grab your credit card or a coupon, whatever it might be, grab it. And ask yourself, have a look at it, put it in your right hand if you're right-handed, put it in your left hand if you're left-handed. And ask yourself, could I offer a smile? Even with the little amount of money that I have, could I offer a smile with this little amount of money, this dollar, quarter, penny? You see, here's the thing, everyone. When you bless the substance, and if you don't like the word blessed, you can use the word grateful or appreciate or focus on. when I appreciate money, when I appreciate the substance, when I bless the substance, it increases the flow, which means more comes to me. You've heard the old adage, right? If you don't appreciate something, it'll be taken away from you. I'm not sure that's you know, it's exactly right, but it's something to that effect. Here's an interesting thing. Did you know that rich people have, here's a Zig Ziglar. Rich people have no TVs. Zig Ziglar was a motivational speaker and highly, highly successful. Incredible man. He said, rich people have no TVs, but they do have big libraries. Poor people, he said, have no libraries and a really big TV. Here's another quote. If you don't value your time, neither will others. Stop giving away your time and talents. Value what you know and start charging for it. Kim Garst. Now, I know a lot of spiritual friends that do not charge enough because being spiritual is about being broke. No, being spiritual is the opposite of being broke. If you truly believe that there is something in the universe, God, Spirit, Bob, whatever you want to call it, that is running the show and that has no lack. When you look in nature, there's no lack. When you look around the universe, there's a billion, trillion, gazillion stars and planets and suns and moons in orbit. There's no lack in the universe. The only lack is in your head, in your thinking about lack. That is the only lack in your life. And some people don't like hearing that. Some people think, oh, that's such BS, Dermot. It's the economy. No, it's not the economy. Well, it is. It's your inner economy, not the outer economy. Because if it was the outer economy, then why is it some people are making a lot of money right now? And did when the whole crash happened. And a lot of people are not making any money. It's not the outer economy that's the problem, everyone. It's the inner economy. Your inner economy is the problem, not the outer economy. How you think about money, your inner economy, is how you're going to experience it. No question about it. And by the way, being spiritual means you should have a lot of money. Because spiritually, being spiritual means that you have a knowing. That you are part of something greater. And that greater part of you is abundant in all ways. Money, health, wealth, you name it. Relationships, adventure, fun, joy, peace. All of those things. There's only one thing that's stopping you from being abundant. And that is your thinking. That's it. That is it. Roy Rogers had a great quote about money. He said, money and women are the most sought after and the least known about of any two things we have. Now, God bless the ladies. We'll never understand you, ladies. And we're okay with that. We're okay with it. Most of us are okay with it. If you're not, make it okay to be okay with never understanding the ladies. You're never going to understand them. Even if you're Sherlock Holmes, you will still never totally, fully, ever, completely understand a woman. Because they're like the weather. They change constantly. Right? So don't try to figure out you women. Just love them. And women, respect your men. Respect your men. Men, love your women. And they'll respect you. Or maybe they'll respect you anyway. All right. Now, here's another question for you. How might I, so we're still talking about this softening. This is called a softening exercise. I'm not asking you to get rich quick. I'm not asking you to change all your lovely negative, beliefs that do nothing for you and keep you in lack. I'm not asking you to change those, God forbid. What I'm asking is that you soften your beliefs, your thinking around it. When you loosen the grip, if you want your abundance dove to start flying around your life, you've got to loosen the grip on the dove. Okay, that was the best analogy I could come up with. I don't know if that's a good one, but that's what I could come up with. If you want to... God, could you give me something better than the white dove thing? It's kind of overdone.
What else did you want, Dermot?
I don't know, something like, an analogy about the cookie jar or something.
All right, how about your hand in the cookie jar? Would that work?
Yeah, that'd be fine. If you could just, download me something for the hand in the cookie jar. Oh, thank you, God. I appreciate that. All right, so I just got something there. You put your hand in the cookie jar, and you grab that cookie, and it's beautiful. Oh, my God. And you don't want to let go of that cookie. Money, money, money. And you pull it up out of the cookie jar, but it doesn't come. And you pull it. And you don't want to let go of that cookie. But then one day you realize, if I let go of the cookie and I just take the jar and turn it upside down, the cookie will just magically, because of gravity and everything else, will magically fall out, and then I can eat the cookie. And I won't hurt my hand trying to break open the jar. So is it with abundance. So here's a question for you. Thanks, big fella. Appreciate that one.
Oh, you're very welcome, Dermot. Very welcome. More where that came from.
Oh, well, that's good to know. All right. Here's a question for you. A softening exercise around, I don't have any money, or whatever your statement is. How might you begin to move towards, just slowly, not asking to change overnight, but how might you, in a very small way, begin to move towards having a greater relationship with money? Let me ask it in a different way. How might you begin to move towards having a greater thinking relationship around money? Because money is only energy. It comes and it goes. But the emotions and the thinking that we have around it, emotion is energy in motion, by the way. That's what gets us in the way. That's what gets us in the way. No question about it. Theodore Roosevelt said, if you believe you can, you're halfway there. And so if you can start to believe, find a way to just start to shift a little bit. Hey, I'm broke right now. Here's the truth. I'm broke right now. Now, you're broke because you don't have any money. But you're never poor. Make the distinction there, ladies and gentlemen. You're broke. Yeah, you don't have any money. But you're never poor. Because if it's true, and I believe it to be true, I absolutely believe it, 100%. I've had the experience of it many times. That there's an abundant universe out there and inside of us, and we're connected to that. And all we got to do is improve our knowing. And one of the ways that we can improve our knowing that, hey, there is an abundance in us and out of us. But in order to have that outside abundance, we've got to change the inside. We've got to be able to open that door just a little bit to get some light in there. Most of us, our doors are closed tight because we want to do it ourselves. There's no such thing as God. There's no such thing as spirit. There's no such thing as abundance. I got to do this myself. If I don't pay the bills, nobody else will. Well, hey, there's nothing wrong with paying bills. We all got to pay bills. But would you rather pay your bills with a smile on your face, or would you rather pay your bills with a big frown? Would you rather be happy about paying your bills, or would you rather be sad about paying your bills? It's your choice. Well, Dermot, I got to pay bills. I'm not very happy about it. Really? So let me tell you what bills are, everyone. Bills. Could you help me out again, God? I was going to say something profound, but now it's gone.
All right, hang on a second, Dermot. I'm just making some dinner. So what is it you want?
I need like a profound statement about bills. I started giving this whole like monologue about bills, and now I don't know what to say.
Okay, hang on a second. I just got to put this spatula down. Cooking dinner for myself and my son. All right, it's done. There you go. Now, could you leave me alone for the rest of the evening?
Yeah, no. But I thought you were everywhere.
Sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. Right now, I'm not everywhere. I'm in the kitchen.
Okay, all right. Good to know, God. Thank you. Yeah. All right, so here it is, everyone. Thank you. Bills. Bills are blessings you are already enjoying. Bills are blessings you are already enjoying. If you've got your electric bill and it's at home, you've already used that electric. You've already warmed your toast. You've already plugged in your hot water bed or whatever it might be. You've already put it on the TV to watch a movie to relax. You've already had the computer going. You've already had the milkshake with the blender, electricity. You already put your lights on, electricity. Right? And any other devices that we're not going to talk about that you have to plug in the evening. I left some silence there just for dramatic effect. Because now you were going through your head, weren't you? Like thinking about all the things that, that you shouldn't plug in, but you do. Yeah. Right. Leave them at home, by the way, when you go abroad. You don't want that stuff in your luggage. Could take somebody's eye out. All right. So bills are blessings that you're already enjoying. Now you can pay the bill, with an anger, with being unhappy about it, or you can pay the bill and be happy about it. It's your choice. Now, here's the last question in this little softening exercise. It's a great exercise, by the way. I've used it many times. It's really wonderful. What's one abundant thought that I can have right now about money? What is one small, even though you might be broke, you're living in your car, whatever it is, if you're not wonderful, if you just want to have a little more money, if you want to improve your knowing, if you want to improve your relationship with money, if you want to improve your thinking relationship with money, because when you improve your relationship with something, then that something gets better. That something shows up more in your life. You don't believe me? Did you ever make an effort to be nicer to your lady? And what happens? She starts showing up more. She starts being even more loving right back to you. Money is the same way. Treat money like you treat your little lady. Now, by the way, if you're treating your little lady not nicely, then money's going to do the same thing for you. It's not going to show up. But if you start to respect money and you start to treat it like a little lady, treat me like a lady. You start treating money, you're thinking about money, be more specific. You start treating your thinking about money like your little lady. And I know all you men out there respect and love your little ladies. Even when they're crazy at the end of the month. They need more love, by the way, and patience at that time. I've gone blank there for a second. Treat your ladies in the same way that you would want money to treat you. Oh, that's good. Oh, what did I just say? Treat your ladies like you want money to treat you. Okay, figure that one out for yourself. I don't know where that came from, but that makes sense. All right, so here's the question again, just in case you were sidetracked. As men, we often get sidetracked. A lot. What's one abundant thought that you can have about your thinking relationship with money? Now, take that dollar in your hand and just think, you know what? Right now, if things are not going well for you, hey, things are not going well. That's just the truth. I'm not asking you to be freaking happy if you're pissed off and sad. I'm not asking you to go out into your garden and look, and the garden's full of weeds, and all you can say is, there's no weeds, there's no weeds. The garden is beautiful. Oh, what a beautiful garden. No, there's weeds in the garden. You got to go in and pick those frickin' things out. In the same way, there's weeds in your mind, and they're lack. They're lack weeds. And you got to go in, you got to pick those things out. And the best way to do it, it's the paradox of change. When you embrace something, it changes. Let me talk about this very briefly, the paradox of change, because it's really important in terms of what we're talking about. You might think, is it important, Dermot? I say, yeah, it is. Why? Because that sounded really good. No, it is. The paradox of change says that when you embrace something, when you appreciate something for being there, then you can change it. And the reverse of that is also true. When you resist something, it persists. You ever have that in your life? Think about a time in your life when things were going well, and you met a new woman, and things were going well. Oh, it's the honeymoon phase, and there's lots of sex, and there's lots of love letters, and there's texting, and there's flowers, and there's chocolate, and there's crazy lovemaking in places that you wouldn't even go otherwise. All of that stuff. And you think life is beautiful. And it seems to just get better and better and better and better. Now, is it life that's getting better, or is your thinking about life getting better? The answer is obvious, right? It's you're thinking about life, and you're thinking about this person. Then at some point, the honeymoon ends, which it doesn't have to, by the way. But it ends, and then you start thinking, oh, I don't like this about her. Oh, and I don't like how she tells me to do things. And I don't like that about her. And then she moves in, and you really don't like things about her. And then things start to go south. Now, did things start to go south, or did your thinking about that person start to go south? Again, the answer is obvious. You're thinking about that person, right? So, if you can start, like I said, if things are not going well for you, okay. If things are going great for you, then bless the abundance. Bills are blessings you're already enjoying. You bless the bill, and you get more enjoyment. Not an easy thing to do, I know. When I was broke at times, oh my God, and people would say, bless the bills, I would want to shoot them. Bless the bills. How about I shoot you? No. It's not easy to bless the bills. However, if you can just get a little crack in that door and say, okay, I'm broke, but you know what? I still have a roof over my head. I still have my health. Or I still have people that love me. I still have people that appreciate me. I still have clothes. I'm not walking around naked. Right? That's why naked people, by the way, they don't make any real dent on society. They say clothes make the man. But yeah, naked people, they don't. It's kind of cool and weird. But no big dent on society, naked people. Unless it's the 60s Berkeley and you're running around. That was pretty cool. I don't know how much effect it had in the world, but it was pretty cool. Not that I know. I was born in 68, so, not that old. But what was I talking about? Naked people. Before that, money. Yes, bless the substance. Okay. So when you bless something, when you can find a little crack in the door, when you can find a little crack in your thinking about money, things start to happen. I don't know how else to explain it to you, but if you can just slowly start to do that, hey, things are not all that bad for me. And if things are going well for you, then start looking at stuff and start blessing the things that are going well. Because when you appreciate something, more of it shows up. And when you hate something, more of that shows up. When you bless something, more of that shows up. When you hate something, or disrespect something, or don't like something, more of that shows up. It's the paradox. Don't ask me how it works. So the paradox of change, let's get back to that because I think that's what I started the conversation with. Stay on track, Dermot. Stay on track. There's people listening. This is meant to be a professional show. We do what we can, ladies and gentlemen. We do what we can. All right. So start embracing what you have and you'll get more. Right? You've heard the old adage, what you focus on expands. What a man thinks about all day, he becomes. Lack attracts lack. Rich attracts rich. Good thoughts attract more. More attracts more. Less attracts more of less. Less attracts more of less. And more attracts more of more. Somebody write that down because that's pretty good. That's pretty good. All right. I think we're gonna wrap up the show, everyone. We're going to be talking about, for the next few shows, we're going to be talking about money. We're going to be talking about spiritual money. We're going to be talking about how do we create money out of nothing. That's the spiritual part. But then there's also a practical part of getting a job and paying your bills. But also, I'm going to share with you in the last 2 episodes of the month a lot of myth around credit card debt. And I'm going to share some really powerful... I'm going to share a 7-step program that if you follow this program, you'll be wealthy, healthy, and wise the rest of your days. Now, it's not going to happen overnight. I'm not going to sell you on that BS. Oh, do this 7 things and within a week you'll be wealthy. No, it doesn't work that way. It does not work that way. And if anyone tells you it works that way, run away from them. Run, Forrest! Run! Because it's BS. Do you know why the lottery, the tickets for buying the lottery are not in rich neighborhoods? You ever notice that? Go to Beverly Hills. There are no lottery 7-Elevens or 4-Elevens or whatever 11 that is. There's no places selling lottery tickets. Oh, well, Dermot, because the people are already rich, they don't need them. No, that's not the reason. The reason is that the people who creates those know that rich people don't buy lottery tickets. Only poor people buy lottery tickets because they want that quick win. Now, does that happen? Absolutely it happens. No question about it. For one person out of 100 million. And you could be that one person, no question about it. You know what's fascinating they found out about money, though? Is that people who win the lottery, because they haven't changed their thinking about money, right? Because our thinking creates a feeling, right? We live in the feeling of our thinking. We live in the feeling of our thinking. We have a thought, and that thought creates a feeling. I'm a piece of crap. Oh, I don't feel good. I'm the happiest guy on the planet. Wow, I really feel good. I'm so broke. My life is worthless. I feel like I'm so broke. My life is worthless. I have the thought, oh, my life's pretty good. Good things happen to me. Not every day, but good things happen to me. Yeah, every day they do. Oh, huh. More of that comes. Bless the substance, and it increases the flow. So we're going to wrap up here, everyone. Here's the questions again. When was a time in your life in the past when you had some money? When was a time when you enjoyed someone buying you something with money? Write it down. Who do I know that has money that has bought me something? A cup of coffee or a TV or I don't know, whatever it might be, a shirt, underwear, socks, cup of coffee. What value do I give money? What's my story around money? What do I say about money? There's not enough. Doesn't grow on trees. Got to work hard to get money. Nothing wrong with working hard to get money. But if you're working so hard that you're miserable and you got money, then you're just poor and broke. Money is scarce in the world. There's not enough money to go around. Money's the root of all evil. Crap. Rubbish. And we all have those thinkings that create these feelings of lack. We all have these thinkings. But when you can start to just notice that, hey, it's just the thinking. It's just thinking. You know what got you to be broke? It wasn't that your neighbor stole from you. It wasn't that your car got repossessed. It wasn't that your wife took you for everything that she had or you had. Your thinking about money got you to the place where you are today. The bottom line is that. So what value do I give money? Is money everything to me? If I don't have money, I'm not happy? You know, sometimes people are miserable their whole lives because they don't have any money. And yet the opposite is also true. When you go to India, I was in India a few years ago. People are not that no money and the happiest people on the planet. Well, how is that? Thinking. They're thinking. How might I begin to move toward having a greater feeling or a greater thinking relationship with money? How might I begin to move towards having a greater thinking, which we live in the feeling of our thinking. We have a thought and then we create a feeling. And maybe it's just as simple as saying, you know, I know money is just energy. And I'm energy. So therefore, I can create more money in my life. I can allow more money. Better. Here's better. I know money is just energy. I am energy. Therefore, I know that I can allow more money to be created in my life. What's one abundant thought I can have right now about money? So let's wrap this conversation up, everyone. And we're gonna be here again next Friday from 1 to 3 on KOWS.FM, Celtic Coach Radio Show, an Irish talk show just for men and all things manly. We're going to be talking about money. I'm going to share a few different tools. No strategies here. I'm just going to share some ideas, some tools, some suggestions, some truths around creating money spiritually. Here's the bottom line, everyone. We live in the feeling of our thinking. And if you cannot change your thinking, and it doesn't have to be a hard thing, you just start to point your boat in the direction that you want to go. There's so many people going through life and their boat is pointed upstream. And it's constantly pointed upstream, and they row and they row and they row. They got to do it all themselves. No one else is going to do it, Dermot. No one else is going to do it for me. I've got to do it myself. And trust me on this, dear listeners. I've been there many, many times. Do it myself, do it myself, do it myself. No one else is going to do it. I grew up in a family of my old man was an alcoholic, story, by the way. And he gave me one of the greatest gifts that any man could give his son. And it was to show that it's not the circumstances that create the outcome. It's my thinking about the circumstances that create my outcome. We've all been broke at times in our life, but none of us are poor. Poor means that you do not believe there is anything outside of you. And maybe that's your belief. I don't know. I'm just telling you what my beliefs are. And if you resonate with them, great. If you don't, hey, more power to you. I respect you and love you nonetheless. But if you come from a place of it's just me and nobody else, which I've done for years, it's going to be a very hard way to live life because that boat's going to be pointed upstream. You're going to be going against the current. You know, one of the most incredible things that I found about abundance, about allowing abundance to be more, allowing more abundance to be created in my life is when I relax and I don't push so hard. I push less. And that softening exercise is a way to push less. Then something can come through the door. Something unexpected, something miraculous, something so surprising. One time I had a godfather show up out of nowhere. Nowhere. When I was back home in Ireland for a trip, seeing my dad, he wasn't well. And he came to the house and he gave me a check for 30,000 Irish pounds, which is about $45,000 back then, 10 years ago. And it was because I was willing to just let go a little bit. I was willing just to allow my thinking to take a different direction. And this is not a pushing exercise. This is not about, oh, I've got to think positive thoughts. I've got to change the way I think. Not about that. Because that just creates more lack, because now you're pushing against trying to create something else. It's more about just letting the cookie go. Just let the cookie go. And without any effort, just the cookie jar on its own seems to turn over and give you the cookie. But most of us, ladies and gentlemen, we're on this trip of life and we're pushing our way through it. And we're causing stress, we're causing disease, we're causing all sorts of things in our bodies. Because we're trying to control every aspect of our lives. And I've done that too. Still do it today. I'm not perfect. I still do it today. But I do a lot less of it. Everything I've said today, take it with a grain of salt, because it's my truth. But that doesn't mean it's your truth. However, if you're open to the possibilities of it being remotely true, some of it, part of it, bit of it, all of it, then you'll start to become aware and you'll start to gain insights. You'll start to see new things. And when you see things new, the things that you create in your life, you'll create new things in your life. The insight is the sight from within. And the very fact that you're listening to this conversation, the very fact that we're having this conversation, that's already letting you know. That's your insight. That's letting you know that, hey, you're on the track. And you can never be off the track. Now, you can slow down on the track of life. And you can stop at a station. And sometimes you can stay way too long at the station. Thinking, obsessing about your problems. But at some point you just realize, the train has got its own motor. The train's got its own energy system. And I don't have to build the tracks. I just got to get on the train. I just got to soften my thinking about money. And the train will do the rest. The train will take me down the track towards the bank. Right? You don't have to know how to get to the bank. You've just got to be willing to have something, whatever that is, lead you to the bank. My mother, we'll finish up with this. My mother always said to me, and I never understood it at the time, but I understand it now in a way that I've never before. She said, Dermot, you alone can do it, but you can't do it alone. And I used to think, oh, that's so beautiful, But now I get it. Now I get what she was talking about. That you alone can do it, Dermot. You've got to show up. You've got to put the pants on. You've got to show up. You've got to try stuff. You've got to pay your bills. You've got to work. You've got to create. You've got to allow. Sometimes you got to persist. Sometimes you got to work hard. Sometimes you got to work less. You got to muddle through this field of life. You alone can do that. But you don't have to do it alone. There's something greater. And I don't know what that's. I call it spirit, God. There is something greater out there, ladies and gentlemen. I don't ask me. I don't live at that place all the time where it's like, oh yeah, I know God, blah blah blah. I get down and dirty and angry and everything else with the best of them. But I do it a lot less. And that's the invitation we're putting on the table today. You alone can do it. But you don't have to do it alone. I'm going to dedicate the show today to my mom. I was thinking about her today, so I'm going to dedicate the show to Mom. I miss you wherever you are, whether you're up in the blue sky or reincarnated or wherever you might be. I love you. Miss you. Thanks for everything. So, ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to the Celtic Coast Radio Show, an Irish talk show just for men and all things manly on KOWS.FM, F for Frank, M for Matilda. And we're here every Friday. We're going to be talking about money for this whole month. So stay tuned. You're going to learn a lot of cool stuff and have a lot of insights and awarenesses and new perspectives and new ideas about money. So stay tuned for that. I'm Dermot Butley, the Celtic Coach. Think big, have fun, and stay curious about everything. Cheers.